Down with Kerri and Nana. You ready for the show to begin?
Hey, let's go. Let's get it. It's almost showtime. Let's go. Let's get it. It's almost go time. Let's freaking go.
Alrighty, it has been
Yeah.
some weeks, but it is that time. It is the Bright Side Chronicles time.
It is. It is.
Well, what is the Bright Side Chronicles? As I still work out these technical difficulties.
Okay, so first and foremost, hello.
Hello.
Um, my co-host, i.e., the GOAT right over here, Kerri Lewis, and I came up with this idea called the Bright Side Chronicles, which is an hour segment just talking about things that bring you joy, happiness, and basically like getting to know people. And so here and there we will have guest speakers that will pop in, and sometimes we don't, and we just freestyle it. And it's nice to just kind of just catch up, and if there's any questions or people have any input that they want to put, obviously that's why we have a little open forum. But yeah, it feels good to be back on here, man. It feels good to be back. Even hearing the intro, I was like, oh damn, I feel like it's been a minute. Not in a bad way, but
No,
life
it has
gets
been a
busy.
grip because
Yeah.
we've had, what have we had? We had our daughter's award ceremony.
Yep.
It's my
Yep.
birthday.
Yep. Your
We
birthday.
had
Yep.
you going to a con, so it's been
Yep.
back-to-back stuff.
A lot of moving parts.
Yeah,
A
but
lot
I
of-
am super excited to be here. We're still not streaming to Instagram, babes, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it. I'm gonna deal
Is it-
with that.
Is it at
technical
least working with
difficulty.
Facebook or anything?
I don't know, but we are here and we're gonna roll with what the universe got, my dear.
Yeah.
That's what we do as I
Okay.
sweat my face off. Okay, but no, I do want to add in my 2 cents because it's been a bit. For me, the Bright Side
Mhm.
Chronicles is a way to challenge the pervasive narrative that we are surrounded by negativity. The reality is we co-create our experience with creation based on our mindset. And for me, I had to cultivate a positive mindset. And so I now want to infuse positivity into the lives of other people and highlight people who have tapped into what brings them joy as a way for people to start to realize they do have power. They can claim the experience that they're going to have. And this is just our way to kind of challenge what I think a lot of people get caught up in and feeling stuck with negative narratives around them.
I mean, you said it best. You know, I mean, I think we get put in this box of like we can keep thinking negative all the time, but it's nice to kind of have another outlet or avenue to think in a positive way instead of just always getting caught up in the same old mundane routine of life. You know.
100%.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, it has been a grip. And since the last time we've been on the show, you and I have both experienced quite a lot of joy-filled moments. Do you want to share with the listening audience again how your con expedition went and how that infuses your everyday life with joy?
My con expeditions. I guess we can call it a contour, like like makeup contour. We can do that now.
Right
yeah,
now,
the journey.
working on contouring my hair, people.
I was gonna say, did you cut it?
I started to. I'm like slowly hacking away because the thing is I do a little bit at a time.
Yeah. It looks dope though, from what is coming out. You don't think so?
Yours and my version of dope is different, but hey, you know what? The fact that you see me as beautiful all the time, I appreciate you. And for anybody out there who's watching, I sure the hell hope you have somebody in your life who sees the beauty in you all the time.
Absolutely. Dang, I mean, which I guess really it would be what Rhode Island Anime I think would be the most recent one that I was at. And that was really like cool because that one was due in part because of Jack and Dusk, who actually had I guess you could say the content creator part, and like they've been really instrumental in like me being able to be a guest at certain cons because they see value in what I bring to these cons. And so to be a guest of honor in a sense at Rhode Island was amazing. And I also want to give a shout out to like Connor as well, because Connor was like my right hand man for hosting certain events, and Dylan, a couple great group of friends like Jackie, both Jackies, because there's the one that was part of the content creator badge, and then the other one, and then there's a couple other guest speaker like guest content creators, which would be like E, or she goes by E, but and then Creepy Mamas to also Becky as well too. Like literally, like it was just a collective group. They almost like assembled the Avengers for this. Like it was kind of like CradleCon, how CradleCon had so many bangers back to back, and the same thing that Rhode Island did. So like it's been a journey hosting like meetups to like meeting voice actors and like just being of service to people, and just bringing that sense of happiness and joy was really, really cool. It was really welcoming. And I loved every moment of it, because as much as I was tired, I was riding off of willpower and just like joy and happiness. So I wasn't like, oh man, like my body, like it was just like, okay, cool. Like we're just living the moment.
That's Justin. And
Oh,
it's
shit.
funny, Justin, because Nana and I were just talking about Johnny and Dave figuring out what we're going to do for the 4th of July. But truthfully, we haven't made any solid plans. So I can't promise you that I will be seeing you. But we appreciate you catching the show. And for anybody out there listening, please feel free to add your 2 cents or engage in the conversation around joy.
Absolutely.
For me, you and I talked today about how June has been a month of ambiguity. Let's just say
ambiguity is a great word.
Ambiguity.
It's a great word.
I constantly go back to this idea of your ability to navigate uncertain times because you infuse your life with a lot of joy.
Ambiguity is a very, very good word. Especially going into this month, because there's been so many just like challenges to like just like what is this? And whether it's work wise or home, literally home,
Literally.
like you just can't. I almost laugh at it. So let me backtrack, right? Let me tell. Work wise has been very, very like just challenging, as in like it's been very slow, and I get it because there's graduations going on, summer's coming up, and there's vacations going on. Totally understandable. It's a time of the year, but being obviously in sales, you want to be productive. So like there have been days at work where I just be like, dang, like I want to be busy, and I tell Babe the same thing. I'm like, nah, something's got to give. Like I just can't. No, like it just got to work. So like that's been going on with work wise. And then on Tuesday night, I came back from a very interesting day of work of just, to like my garage door literally just dropping down and breaking, as in a sense, like the spring just stopped working. And I'm like, dude, what is this? But I literally was talking to Babe in the car, and I just laughed because I was just like,
Babe? Who's this Babe we're talking about?
The lady that I'm literally pointing to. So. But like it was funny as heck, because like I could have been like, oh well, what else can go wrong? And I wasn't gonna put that out there. I just literally laughed, and I was like, this is comical. Like whoever scripted this is doing a really good job making me laugh. That was the first thing, because even on the phone, I was just like, this is like bizarre. And I was like, well, how do I fix this? Like, how do I just understand this is part of life, And I had to like almost just sit in the car and just like, dang, okay, well, I gotta figure out Wednesday, I gotta figure out Thursday, and then it is all done. We called the garage door opener people to come in, and they got things done. It is all set. But like, I don't know. I think it's just having people like yourself around me, and even like seeing the family. Like, I was at the house on, yesterday, and it was cool as heck just to kind of like just pop in and say what up to family and reset. And, cuddles help out a lot as well too, because like sometimes you just need to like be in your feels and just have your person that you are comfortable with literally just be in your presence. And it could be just not saying anything or just like venting, helps out a lot. And I was watching the World Cup. The World Cup was.
I was waiting for you to add.
You know what I mean? It was uplifting my spirits. Like shout out to Ghana, by the way, because we manifested that win yesterday. That was funny as heck, and it was just cool how it all transpired and the amount of happiness that this babes lady got to witness me yelling out at the top of my lungs out of joy was really cool. So that literally
Well,
brightened up the
that's the
day.
equivalent to me watching a Patriots Super Bowl and then winning,
Mm,
of course, because if
mm.
they lose, I wouldn't be screaming.
You might be screaming like out of like just like damn, what a missed opportunity. But like yeah, I
Well,
get it.
listen, I was screaming last year, but I also knew that was going to happen because I
That
just
was
didn't see them winning that Super Bowl.
yeah, that was we shout out to the Seahawks. Shout out to the Seahawks.
Agreed.
But what about yourself? How have you been able to keep a positive mindset with a lot of moving parts that you got going on too?
Yo, I mean, here's the thing. It has been work, like as you well know, since you do life with me, but it has been work and a constant, as you and I both say, reset. So like recognizing when I am struggling and then choosing a different narrative. Sometimes it's just a choice, or really working to find the things to be grateful about. But watching Julia go through graduation. So she's going to be moving to Boston, and
Shout out.
Billy turning 17, and
Crazy.
just different moving parts. I've really had to take time to just pause and look at the things I have to be grateful for, because it can feel, I love change. Change is an inevitable part of life, but it still is a process in which we move through. And I think that there is, I hear a lot, especially because I'm in the spiritual space,
Yeah.
where you go with the flow. And I'm usually big about flow, but part of flow is feeling your feelings as they come up in the moment so that you can move through them. And that's just really the place that I've allowed myself, for the most part, to be in.
Yeah. Which I mean, when you speak about flow, like tell the audience, like how do you tap into your flow state or whatnot when it comes down to like dealing with just challenges?
Well, flow is just not resisting what is coming up in the present moment. And I think that's where a lot of people suffer. So, okay, for me, right, I am perimenopausal, I have hormones raging, and it's very easy for me to wish that I was having a different experience, right? Not being as emotional, but when I just can sit in that experience without judging it and just allowing myself to be messy,
Yeah.
and surround myself with people who can hold space for that mess, because that's the other thing. Part of living a joy-filled life is surrounding yourself with people who lift you up at all times, who don't tear you down. I think so often, individuals are surrounded by people who will be quick to point out where somebody's falling short instead of just holding space for their humanness. And so I'm really big about that. But flow for me is just truly allowing, for example, at the graduation, when my daughter was up there making a speech, I cried, and I didn't stop the crying because I was in the middle of an audience. I let myself feel my feelings because I was a proud mama,
Yes, as you should. Even like we had the father behind us that did the same thing for his daughter. He was like, "That's my baby girl," and I'm like, "Bro, like," and he felt bad, which was even more like, "You ain't gotta apologize, bro. Like that's your kid. That's like one of your proudest moments for your kid. You know what I mean? Like, and I remember both of us looked behind and were like, you ain't gotta like apologize for fucking shedding tears. Like, that's cool shit. That's like your genuine emotions. Like you're literally just so happy for her that tears came down your eyes. You know what I mean? Like that's normal. That's gonna happen. I mean, if it like your kid puts in so much work and that's a huge stepping stone for them.
Well, speaking of proud parent moment, our daughter talking to the entire audience about the fact that life is messy. I was like, oh, please, me and Nana did a really good job with this child of ours. Because it's
That
true,
was real shit.
Like we hear all these narratives that things need to look a certain way. No, nothing's going to look a certain way. And it's always going to show up different than what you had anticipated. And it's being able to go with the experience instead of resisting it that allows you to move through it more easily. It doesn't mean it doesn't feel hard, right? You being challenged with cultivating traffic this month, it's not that it feels super easy, but you're not resisting it either. You accept that this is what it is you're experiencing, and how can you work with what you have rather than wishing it were different.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the whole like generating traffic thing it's been interesting because like obviously we know most of our traffic is like people walking through the door. If the door isn't swinging as much as it normally does, then you're just waiting for something to happen, right? So like at that point, like, do you just stand by the door and just hope for like, oh, maybe somebody might come in, or you just gotta just create activity out of nothing, right? So like I've been getting on the phones, which I am not even a fan of, like calling people and stuff like that. But I just, hey, just checking in, just making sure you're good, yada yada. Like today is a perfect example. A woman that came in, spent time with me yesterday, ended up buying a car elsewhere, which is fine. But I was like, thank you for your time. You know, I mean, it was an opportunity. We just didn't have the right vehicle. And so that's gonna happen. It just sometimes doesn't work in your benefit. But when it does, it's also a good thing, right? So then it's like, oh, well, you know, I missed out on that opportunity, but I also end up getting something out of it. And I told her, I said, hey, I know we didn't help you buy the car this time around, but if you have family and friends that are looking for a vehicle, maybe put my name out there if you had a good experience. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that I hold my hat to, despite sometimes dealing with just situations that I can't control. Like I can't control inventory. Like we sell whatever is on the lot. And she was like, well, can you get it from elsewhere? And as soon as she said that, I was like, well, elsewhere might have it more than we do, but it's okay. Like it is what it is. It's part of the nature of it. Sometimes we have cars that people want, and then sometimes we have cars that people don't want, you know. So I
So
get it.
let's talk about something totally. I'm going to pivot on you because,
Hit me.
I'm a proud partner.
Hit me.
I hate that word, partner. I'm so not your partner.
Bro, that's like a tag team. Like this is not a tag team match from WWE.
I know. I
You
mean,
are not a
it
partner.
works for some people, but anyway.
You're my person. How about we use that?
You tried kayaking.
I did, yo. That was cool. That was really cool.
So I loved it because it took you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I'm not a big swimmer, as you can tell. Not because skin color. But yeah,
I was just gonna say,
Nah.
how could they tell?
yeah, nah. I mean, really, I'm not a big swimmer because I can't float. So like, therefore, I don't like. But it was cool because like I sat in a kayak and I was like, oh, I haven't done this thing in like years. Like, mind you, from like camp, I did that, but it was cool as heck. And I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. You know what felt good? It was like, it just was like, you're just floating. And like, there was some nerves when I got towards like when it started getting towards like the 7 feet part. Cause I'd be like, okay, I want to turn around now. Like, but I think, like you said, that's like just going through the motions of it and figuring out like how to like paddle and, you know, shift the boat and stuff like that. So I don't go the wrong way or whatever it is. But like, it was cool. It was.
But I think when you're talking about the bright side of life, so often people fail to realize that our brain is designed to learn and try new things. It wants to be challenged. It wants to have to problem solve. And a lot of people's struggle with anxiety and depression is the fact that they do not challenge their brain. They're too comfortable. And that's why I love the saying comfort kills. It literally does. Because if you're not doing anything to challenge your brain will feed on itself. And what I mean by that is it makes you overthink. And so for you, not only did you do something that was new and outside your comfort zone, but because it was something that felt uncomfortable, you then experience the joy of being proud of yourself for doing something that felt unfamiliar.
Yeah, I mean, and it was really nice because I had the guidance of yourself, Manny, Billy as well too, just to kind of like cheer me on and guide me to be like, hey, like this is how you roll. And I mean, that's just with anything, right? That's gonna take some time to learn. That's just normal, like day-to-day stuff. So like that was really, really reassuring. And I mean, also having the life vest because like your boy ain't built for that swimming life just yet. But
Well, it's so
we
funny because I get heat like when I don't wear a life vest kayaking.
really?
But I don't like them. But I also am a
Why?
big, because it restricts my mobility. Like, first
Okay.
off, everybody, I do love me a good kayaking session, but also I would rather just jump in the water and swim after. But I get it; it's a safety precaution.
Correct. But that was cool as heck. And then even like you guys go through the little like what the tunnel area. Like, how does that work? Explain that.
Well, I like it because I sing to all the cars passing by under the aluminum bridge. Actually, it's all rusted. So what rusts? Is it aluminum? No, it's
More steel?
is it steel? Maybe, I don't know. Whatever
Yes.
it is, it's rusty. But I don't know. It's just fun. I love to kayak. I love to move my body, and then in fact, that goes to, again, when we're talking about joy, guys. Energy will stagnate in your body. I just had this conversation with two different individuals this week. Our sedentary life causes energy to just like sit in denseness, right? And so you are able to cultivate joy by working out, myself included, although this past month I have not worked out, but I still move my body.
You worked on different ways of working out. That's what you should probably tell yourself.
Yes.
That's probably the best word is to you've been doing different things, not the strict gym type workouts. So
I sure have. My muscles feel it. And you guys can all imagine. No.
Yo, what the?
Let's just be honest. That's a really enjoyable workout. I like it a lot.
Who's working you out for that one?
You.
Oh, that's what we're doing out here. Okay, I got you.
All the time, except for unless it's raspberry jelly time, and then you a hater. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna open up this conversation if anybody's watching. Like, seriously. Okay, I'm just saying, as a woman who, by the way, women, I know a lot of women who do like to get laid around that time of month. How do y'all feel about giving your girl the dick down? Because my man's not down with it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't like jelly donuts, so now I'm just
I like cream-filled donuts with chocolate frosting.
Hey, yo. But I get it. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, it's just, like, it's not, it just ain't for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mr. Man goes limp real quick. He's like, I went from inches to centimeters.
no freaking way, dude. What? Nah, that's hilarious. Nah, that is hilarious. Nah, you're wrong for that. You're wrong for that.
No, I'm real. But you know what? Like, but again, seriously, when we're talking about joy, like, why is certain things off the topic? Like, one, sex is one of the most universal things we do.
And it sells.
It does sell.
It's part of basic needs, essentially, if you think about it, right? So, like, shelter, food, sex, and then I think there's another one. Love.
You think sex is basic needs? I guess if you're thinking about procreating.
Correct. That's why. That's not the fundamental element of it, but just more like you're creating a human being for reproduction purposes wise.
Well, you and me ain't creating no human beings anymore. Them fallopian tubes got snipped.
Yeah. I'm weak. That shit is bad funny.
Listen, I want to be able to have sex unencumbered. There's no plastic nonsense up in that shit.
Yo, I literally can't. That was bad funny. Nah.
But that's the thing is, you and I have a relationship where we literally talk about everything. In fact, I'm gonna really probably, I could ruffle feathers, but the other day I was talking to you and I was like, babe, for our anniversary, I'd love for you to do something unexpected, like having a picnic. To which you educated me that wasn't a racially appropriate suggestion.
Well, the terminology picnic, like, look it up. If you look up the original meaning, that's where it comes from.
Well,
Like,
educate us.
so the term picnic in the past was to pick a person of color, i.e., the N-word, at a area and hang them, per se,
After eating dinner, right?
or lunch, I guess, depending on which one to call it. Brunch,
Sorry.
wild, but that was where the terminology
I
picnic came
had
from.
no idea.
Most people don't.
But like, here's my thing for the listening audience, right? Why do I bring this up on
That's
the
why I don't do
Bright Side
picnics.
Chronicles? Because I want to have you for a
Yeah,
picnic.
I do sucknicks. Yeah.
No, but I bring it up because instead of you condemning me for saying that, like we made light of the situation, and that's the other thing. I'm sorry, but babe, I'm curious to hear what you have to. I am so over political correctness because I think political correctness actually creates more division. The reality is I mean, I work with some of the densest energy, people who are in deep addiction, who have severe depressive mental health issues. And you know how I get them to break up that monotonous experience? Through laughter. And usually I say something totally out of pocket and inappropriate by like some people's expectations. But the reality is when you know my heart, you know that there's literally no malice. But so often we filter ourselves because we might offend somebody. And in that, we're not being authentic and we're limiting our ability to break up that heavy, dense energy around tough topics like hanging people and things of that nature.
I mean, truthfully, I think that's a good point because even with my line of work, like, comedy tends to break up a lot of like animosity towards like just salespeople because they see is like you're out to swindle them, and I'm like, dude, I have yellow hair. Who am I gonna swindle? Like, let's keep it a buck. Like, you gonna find me somehow, some way. Like, you know what I mean? If I ever swindled you or whatever it is. But I think the comedy and the humor part does help to show more of who you are as a person because too many times we're told to be stoic and be very like cut and dry. And I'm like, dude, you have a freaking life. Like, come on, dude. Like, you can live your best life and just keep it honest and just speak your truth, you know?
Well, that's the other thing. When people are super offended by things I say, I love it because it immediately tells me they're not my people. Like, I would rather offend somebody. I think I lost you. My baby, you froze, but I get to look at your beautiful eyes. There you go.
I'm here. It's just my thing is having technical difficulties because it keeps the screen keeps wanting to time out. And so like I'm trying to just go to the settings and try to adjust it. Yeah. So I was trying to just adjust that to make sure it doesn't
And he froze again. And that's okay, because I'll just sing.
Got it.
To y'all.
Sorry about that. So yeah, it was
good.
No, it was doing it like it felt like every minute it was like dimming, and so I had to change the settings to like 10 minutes so it doesn't. I don't have to keep pressing the screen for it. Just like, we're good. Yeah, we're good. But what were you saying? Sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. I was saying I actually, and I share this with people too, is like part of the bright side of my life is being rejected. So like if I say something that might offend you, it's not that I purposely offend you. I'm not out here like, oh, let me just piss off this random person. But if you get butthurt over me talking about like a joke that you find offensive, I would rather you not be in my world because I don't want people in my world who get so butthurt over jokes, just things like that. So I embrace being rejected.
I mean, rejection, I think is one of the things that like I actually have learned to appreciate it when it does happen, right? Like, I mean, perfect example, New York Comic Con literally just rejected like the content creator application. And I was like happy, bullshit. I was like, thank God, at least it got back to me. You know what I mean? Like, I think I remember telling you that. I was like, at least it got back to me. And I think that makes me more happy because the like Anime NYC, who I applied for, never got back to me until I had to like reach out and just like dig deep. And I was like, you know what? Cool. At least I know where I stand and where things are at. And, the rejection part it stings, but like it also made me more happy because I'm like, okay, there's room for growth. There's room for improvement. Like, how do I keep getting better with my craft to just keep making a difference? And it's led to really cool opportunities, that will transpire later on as well too. So I think it's just part of life. Like, if you don't have rejection, not everything's gonna go smooth. Like, you just can't. Like, that's not how life works. Life isn't not meant to be. I mean, life is meant to almost like figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you, whether it's like relationships to jobs to like, you know, um, hobbies that you made like 10 years ago are probably things that you don't like this day and age because you just outgrew it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, it's so funny because I think that when you're trying to get everybody to accept you, you can't accept yourself. You don't even know
Mm,
yourself. You're
mm.
so busy bending to fit whatever the expectation of that situation and environment is that you never really get to discover yourself. And not for nothing, I know damn well I'm super funny, but I'm highly inappropriate. Like all of the content that comes out about dicks is usually from me. I'm
You.
like, big,
It's literally you.
100%. Right. And it's like that's just that I think it's funny. I don't
She
but
said,
then
I just chose violence.
no violence.
No, no,
Only
I didn't like just like
appreciation.
I just chose
I gotta worship that penis. I ain't violent on it. I mean, unless you want me to be, and that's very different.
that Guac Guac 3000. Hey yo. Hey yo. What the
Oh, this box listening audience is getting more than they bargained for today.
Hey yo, you know what? We support it. We support it. But I mean, yeah, no, I mean, life has definitely been like interesting in a good way. Like I think it's just all in the motions and it's all in the process of it, right? So like, like today I what's it called? Met the guy that fixed the garage. His name was Dan. Super, super like chill as hell. Like he's from Greece. So we started shooting stuff about basketball and who his favorite player was or who he's rooting for the NBA finals.
Y'all
And
weren't talking about the World Cup.
Greece is not in the World Cup, my love.
Oh,
Damn. Damn. So I just brought up basketball because Giannis is Greek. So I was like, he's like a huge focal point, and he loved Giannis because he said like Giannis is a very like upbeat person, and as you can tell, we've seen his documentary of him, and he literally like lives his best life, and it's kind of cool to see that made an impact on a guy that was fixing my garage. Like it was so freaking random because I was like, "Where are you from?" And he's like, "Greece," and I was like, "Oh, that's the first person that came to mind was Giannis Antetokounmpo," which I hope I
well,
pronounced it right. With
it's so funny because I love that you brought up Giannis because you and I do watch a lot of documentaries and stuff, but it's all about people chasing their joy. Like, you know what
Mm,
I mean? And I think about it because if I'm going on Netflix or whatever, I mean, more than 75% of what you can choose for documentaries is some murder, some fucking crazy. But we never
yep,
do. We always
yep.
choose something that is inspiring, Giannis being one of them. And I love his energy because he actually challenges reporters who try to feed him negative
Yeah,
energy.
that was cool. That was the one who was talking about like, oh, was this season a bad season? And he's like, well, MJ had like seasons that he didn't make the playoffs or whatever, where those were also bad seasons. And it challenged the reporter to be like, yo, like I shouldn't have said that because that's not. I mean, it's just like anything in life. It's just there's gonna be just moments where you just can't get over a hump, and that's what it was. Like he faced a really good team that knocked him out of the playoffs. It is what it is, and they end up winning, I think, the championship or whatever it was. So like, it's not the end all be all because you had a off season or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like a not so productive season. You know.
Well, and I mean, I think that inherently lies in people's struggles too. We're too small to know the end game, but I do know that all things unfold in our highest good. And so when things don't work out the way you or I hoped, i.e., NYC, right? New York Comic Con. That
Mhm.
didn't work out, but then you had opportunities coming out the cut that you may not have had that worked out, and then you
Mm.
wouldn't have been able to build relationships with individuals that reached out because you were doing something else. And so really it is allowing yourself to not judge the experience and to ride the wave. And look, I'm not gonna lie, me more than many people, I get it, because building a business the way I have, like I've run into a lot of what even I sometimes perceive as a setback. But when I look back, it's always been in the highest good for everything, even though in the moment it feels hard.
Yeah, but I mean, it's it's the journey. It's the journey of life. Like it just this is the stuff that it's like. So, perfect example, right? A lot of anime characters go through like some kind of tumultuous backstory of like, okay, so like, I mean, Goku's parents literally sent him to Earth because their planet was getting blown up. Then he meets his like, I know this is so cheesy, right?
No,
But then he
I
meets his
love it's your world, baby.
but then he meets his grandpa who's a regular human and he just learns to like protect Earth. Like that's like his ultimate goal of like, I gotta protect my family and friends on Earth.
But isn't he
And
an absentee dad?
come again?
Isn't he an absentee dad?
Yeah, I'm gonna dress up as him on Sunday for Father's Day, by the way. So like
Speaking
this month.
of, what are we gonna do for Father's Day for
You
you?
said
And
we're going to
shout
the
out
beach.
to
We're
all
going to
the
the lake. You said we're
daddies.
going to the lake. We're doing the lake.
Yeah, we ain't gonna have the girls though. Well, maybe Julia. I don't know. No, probably not. They'll
No,
probably be with their dad.
with Bill, yeah. Which
That's
is, I
okay.
mean, I'll be at the, I mean, I'm cool. I'm fine, like cool in the lake, bro. I don't like,
I'll give
I
you a
don't
happy
need,
ending on the kayak, and then we can call it a day.
hey, yo. What the? No way. Yeah, meet me in the back. I got
All right,
you.
I'm with it.
No, but yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. Like I'm excited, and I literally was like, yeah, it sounds like it might be a Goku type of thing. So like, that'll be the absentee father.
But no, in all reality, like I get it. You watch animes that have a storyline of overcoming.
Yes, oh, all the time. A lot of them go through like, and it doesn't have to be a traumatic thing. It's just they go through like life in general, like we go through, and it might not be as like structured and crazy as some of the stuff that people go through in regular life, but like it's still the same lesson of like a person going through challenges and how they overcome it and how they build the people around them. And that's the thing is like build the people around them is like they normally end up finding like a group of people that are like ragtag that become like their best friends or they become somebody that's important to them. They start forming allies in certain animes, and the allies tend to like help out to keep them in or on the journey of figuring out who they are as a person or whatever goal that they all have in common. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just my take on it.
Well, we got 10 minutes, but honestly, your girl is ready to wrap it up.
I don't blame you. My body's a little cooked, but we're here. It's just I might even try to see if I can head to the gym because I didn't get to go to the gym, which
You
is
didn't go to
okay.
the gym?
No, I just literally was like, I just didn't have it in me. I made pasta though.
Nice.
Yeah, and then it rained, so I was like, I'm not getting caught up in that.
Well, it's so funny because
Yeah,
we had a tornado one, and so I went outside and watched it because I'm like,
yeah.
I was disappointed because I wanted thunder and lightning.
Yo, the thing is, like, my phone started going off, and I'm like, what is, because Eden had texted me. He's like, yo, like, you good? I'm like, Yeah, I'm literally sitting in the living room just chilling and making pasta. And he was like, there's a tornado warning. I was like, when the fuck was a tornado warning? And then my phone goes off like 5 minutes later. I'm like, it's aggressive ass, like beep, beep, beep. I'm like, okay, like,
Yeah, I
I
shut
get
off
it.
all those alerts. I
I don't
don't
even
get
know how they even shut. I didn't even know I even got those alerts. I was like, what the frick
no,
is
because
this?
you have a new phone, and so like I have them
Yeah, it
all
was
set
giving
off.
like fear mongering, and I get to like keep people like alert, but like I was like, yeah, this shit's gonna get more anxiety than if anything to a lot of people that are like. I literally was like, okay, it's raining. I'm gonna just. I literally, I kid you not. I was like, if it got bad, I would go in my garage, like common sense, right? But like, it was just downpouring, and so I was like, I'm not gonna freak myself out and be like, oh shit, like something's gonna go wrong. Like no, so that was why I was like, I can't even feed into that.
That brings up a good point that I would say, because I was talking to an individual about this earlier, and this individual's position
Mm-hmm.
was that in this day and age where we're doomed to have anxiety because of information overload and all this stuff around us. And I vehemently, like hands down, because I've experienced it, disagree with that position. Because
Mm-hmm.
one, I shut off all my alerts. Two, I don't have any of the like notification things on my phone. Three, I'm mindful of how often I'm looking and scrolling on social media and stuff. So there are ways to mitigate all that noise. It's just that you have to be intentional about structuring the things in your life to work for you rather than them working against you. And when
Yeah.
you do that, you can absolutely mitigate anxiety.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. And I think that's the thing. Even myself, there's certain like things that I put on like don't notify me, like
The
Snapchat.
blowing chat or all the group chats that blow up your phone.
Yeah, I put a lot of the group chats on mute because I'm like, I'll check it whenever I want. Like unless if I'm really being like requested to. I know most of the time it's just people with this friendly banter or whatever it is, or like somebody's, it just I'm like, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna even partake in that. So that's why. But
All right, babes. Well,
yeah,
I'm gonna sign off
okay.
because it's that time. You're
I
gonna go to the
guess.
gym. I'm gonna go. Maybe I'll cut my hair. Maybe I'll do something else. I don't know, but
Hmm.
I love you.
I
To
love
the
you too.
listening audience, thank you for joining us for episode, I think 52 or 3 of
This
the Bright Side Chronicles.
yes.
And we will be figuring out how to stream Tanana's thing. It's just gonna take us
Yeah.
some time. So
Don't make sense. But all right then. Well, I will talk to you later, my love.
have a beautiful evening, everybody.